the MIL Patrol. For the headlines, we present to you 4 countries that should be emulated amidst the COVID pandemic.
Taiwan recorded its first case of the coronavirus in January 21, but it has managed to keep its number of confirmed cases to just 329 with 5 deaths as of April 1. The country is effectively locked out of the World Health Organization since membership is usually only accorded to countries that are members of the United Nations, which does not recognize Taiwan. On March 16, the government sprang into action as soon as news broke about a mysterious illness in Wuhan. Taiwan, which sits just 100 miles from mainland China, began inspecting travelers coming from the city on December 31, set up a system to track those in self-quarantine, and ramped up production of medical equipment in January. Moreover, Taiwan has not yet resumed exports of the supplies, including surgical face masks. Taiwan's early and effective response to past experience was attributed, given that Taiwan has faced everything from its giant neighbor, the spreading of fake news, military threats, the withholding of vital medical information. During the SARS outbreak in 2003, the country knows it must be on its fullest guard whenever any major problem emerges in China.
In the West, Canada managed to roll out more expansive testing than the neighboring United States on March 30. In January and February, Canada began setting up the infrastructure to conduct tests and contact tracing. The early response in part came from the country's experience during the SARS outbreak in 2003. Then, Canada was the only country outside Asia to report deaths from the virus. Canada has a well-funded public healthcare system, and its criteria for who can be tested for COVID-19 is not as limited in the United States. Canada has spent the past 2 decades preparing for this moment. By catching cases early and investigating their origins, Canada has blunted the impact of the virus thus far.
South Korea, which had one of the largest initial outbreaks outside China, also managed to slow the spread of new coronavirus cases without instituting any lockdowns. On March 23, the conscious acquirement model for mass diagnostic testing was the only way to contain the outbreak, and that other countries should look to East Asia for lessons. South Korea, which has a population of 51 million, tests more than 20,000 people daily at designated testing sites and uses isolation and widespread contact tracing to break chains of transmission, as recommended by the World Health Organization. Thus, South Korea is showing how this model ultimately pays off in reducing spread, taking pressure of health services and keeping a death rate one of the lowest in the world.
The early response to the country of Georgia was commended. Despite its small size and its struggling economy, the country began taking serious measures at the end of February, including closing schools and conducting widespread diagnostic tests. Georgia has so far confirmed 117 cases and no deaths from the COVID-19. The fact that the government took it seriously from the very start has helped, so has Georgia's mindset.
News with no bias exposed. News with no exception exposed. This is MIL Patrol, the Expose. Your news, our business.